Hi, my name's Katie Harp, and this is my presentation on adolescence and inadequate sleep. So for the problem statement, college students in the United States have long struggled with getting inadequate sleep due to a large amount of time commitments, but they don't realize how important sleep is to their overall health, academics, and well-being. These young adults lack awareness of the importance of sleep and how to achieve better sleep health, as well as where to turn if they continue to suffer from a lack of sleep. So for the research, I did a survey through Google Forms, and the main research questions I had were: what factors contribute to college students getting inadequate sleep? Is there a relationship between inadequate sleep and GPA in college students? And is there a relationship between inadequate sleep and well-being in college students? So I did a quantitative survey by creating a survey through Google Forms to ask about sleep habits, and I recruited college students in the United States ages 18 to 22 to participate through online communities and forums. And after removing a couple participants for not following the directions, I ended up with 39 usable survey participants. I found that there was a weak negative correlation between hours of sleep and GPA, meaning that the higher the GPA someone had, the less sleep they were getting. And that wasn't quite what I was looking for, so I decided not to use that in my campaign materials. I also found there was a weak negative correlation between hours of sleep and stress levels. And so that means that the less sleep someone had, the more stressed they were. So I did use that in my campaign materials. And I also found there was a weak positive correlation between hours of sleep and well-being, meaning that the more sleep someone got, the greater their self-reported well-being score was. And here are a few graphs of the correlations, and also one of the questions I asked was about the time commitments that students had, and a lot of students also were working at a job, socializing, playing sports, doing hobbies. And so one of the main reasons that college students don't get enough sleep is that they just have way too many time commitments. Here are a couple infographics about some of the averages I found. So the average college student in my survey was only getting about 6.5 hours of sleep each night, compared to the recommendation of 7 to 9 hours of sleep. And the average student also scored a 3.6 out of 5 on the self-reported stress score, with a 1 being not stressed at all and 5 being stressed all the time. So for the key messages, the ask and background is that we're asking the public, which is our target audience of college students, to prioritize getting enough sleep and, if necessary, to get professional help at our sleep clinic. So the reason is that college students should work on improving the quality and quantity of their sleep because it can help their overall well-being and stress levels. And the call to action is that college students can improve their sleep by working on their sleep habits, sleep hygiene, and getting help at a sleep clinic if needed. And then for the key messages that I included in the campaign materials, I have: sleep is important for college students. Better sleep hygiene can improve the quality and amount of sleep you get. Creating healthy sleep habits creates a strong foundation for wellness. Better sleep as a college student improves your stress levels. And if you're sleep deprived, help is available. So the sleep clinic case brief actually talked about adolescents and young adults. But ultimately I decided that since I'm a student at Washington State University conducting this research, I chose to narrow in the focus and specifically choose to target college students in the United States ages 18 to 22 of all races, genders, religions, and ethnicities. Also, because of restrictions involving research with kids and needing to get, perhaps parental permission, I decided to only survey college students over age 18, although ultimately the educational implications could potentially apply to teenagers and school-age children also. So overall, our goal was to improve the amount and quality of sleep that college students get each night, either through education and awareness or clinical support. So one of the objectives was to raise awareness to at least 10,000 college students about sleep through online means such as social media like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, maybe YouTube Shorts, and then also creating assets for the supposed existing audience that the Seattle Sleep Clinic might have through an email newsletter and a blog post on their website. And then the other leg of the objectives is actually to get new patients for the clinic. So not only to educate college students, but also to get some of the students to turn into clients. So the goal was to get 50 new college student patients in the next year by offering free 30-minute consultations that we could promote through Instagram and Google Ads, and also promoting the sleep clinic on local college campuses with flyers and brochures. And so here are a few of the tactics that I created. So there's an Instagram post, there's a brochure, there's a Google ad, there's another Facebook or Instagram post, another Facebook post or ad, also an email newsletter, a flyer, and then a blog post. So as far as scheduling, since we are targeting college students, I decided to follow the academic calendar starting in August. And in the first month, we're just getting set up. So we would need to hire a marketing coordinator, start the ads, make sure the website and social media accounts are up, get the flyers and brochures signed and printed, and also start the promotional offer for the free 30-minute consultations for college students. And then by September, the campus flyers and brochures should be set up and everything else should be ready to go. And we'll be continuing to do the ads, social media, emails, and promotions. And then for October and beyond, we are continuing with all of the promotions. So I had in mind to do a few social media posts a week ongoing, and also doing at least one email a month and one blog post a month. And then also each month evaluating the results to see if there's anything that needs to be tweaked or changed, or if it can continue. And that would continue for the rest of the year until you get to around July, which is the 12-month mark. And then we could finally look at the final results and see how the overall campaign performed. As far as budget, the sleep clinic did budget up to $20,000 for the one-year campaign. So I decided that this is a little bit higher level marketing. So instead of doing an unpaid intern, I wanted to hire a marketing coordinator at an average wage of $25 an hour for someone with some experience. And they would work about 10 hours a week part-time for about 50 weeks out of the year, minus a couple weeks for vacation. And that would cost $12,500, which would be the most significant expense. Also, to print the flyers and brochures, to get about 250 of them would cost $279 on Vistaprint. Also, I budgeted $7,000 for Google and Instagram ads to make up the rest of the budget. And then some of the tools like email scheduling and social media scheduling can be done through MailChimp and Buffer on their free basic plans, which is probably all that we would need at this point. So the overall budget comes to $19,779. And then for the evaluation plan, so the outputs are kind of just the social media posts, the blog posts, the email newsletters, the paid ad campaigns, the flyers, and the brochures. And then for the outtakes, we're looking at audience engagement for the social media posts and other online efforts, and also seeing if anyone picks up the flyers, and really trying to determine the audience awareness for that. And then for the outcomes, our goal is to reach 10,000 college students online and get 50 new patients. And we can also measure how many free consults and new clients we gained as an outcome. So again, we would be measuring the outputs and how many social media posts, emails, and blog posts we're creating. Outtakes we're measuring for the social media and website engagement and also reach as a metric for audience awareness. And outputs we can measure through overall online reach, free consultations, and new patients. Ultimately, the most important metric for success here will be the number of free consults that ultimately turn into paying clients. And these are connected back to the campaign goals and objectives because it'll increase the education awareness and also increase the client caseload. And then finally, with the $20,000 budget, if we get 50 new clients at an average $3,000 for the cost of a sleep study in a lab, that would actually be $150,000 or a 7.5x ROI, which is incredible. Thank you so much for your time.